What's up, guys? How you all doing? It's definitely been a good while since the last time I put a video up here on this channel, and I imagine you guys have been having a lot of questions as what's been going on honestly ever since the beginning of this year with this channel, which hopefully I'm going to be able to answer all of you guys' questions today. So, first thing I wanted to address, just rip off the band-aid, get it over with. For those of you wondering about the Mafuba Jar and the Dragon Ball Super card game content on this channel. While the channel itself is technically not going to go down or anything, the Dragon Ball Super card game part is done for the Mafuba Jar. And those of you guys who have noticed, the name Mafuba Jar is done too. It's called the Magician's Games now. Completely different design and everything. And I'll be explaining all that, but... So first off, for those of you who are interested in knowing why it is I'm leaving the Dragon Ball Super card game and why I'm no longer doing stuff here, I'll explain that a little bit later. But if you're already just like, nope, okay, you already told me you're not doing Dragon Ball Super anymore, I'm done, I'm going to unsubscribe, I fully understand. Like, there's absolutely no worries there. Completely understandable. There's plenty of other Dragon Ball Super card game YouTube channels that are still going pretty strong right now. Like, just to name off a few, I'm not saying I have any particular preference to them or anything like that, because a lot of people out there who do the YouTube content for DBS are all really hardworking. There's obviously super players we've done a few videos with, and honestly, they're one of the reasons I even got into this game in the first place. I know there's Crossworlds TCG, I want to say it is, if I'm saying that right. I know PPG does some stuff. Trying to think who else, because I know there's quite a few. But, like I said, I'm not trying to knock down any DBS card game channels by not mentioning them. It's just, there's quite a bit. So, those are just a few examples. I've done stuff with Team KD in the past. And I think they uploaded a video a little while back. I'm not fully sure, but once they start getting on a more consistent schedule again, they're also another one I definitely recommend. So there's that part done. And now, the second part of what's going on with all the changes going on with the channel. So, me and my girlfriend, Beezus, who you guys have seen on the channel before, we have actually been doing Twitch. The Magician's Games is what it's called, and honestly, it's been going pretty well. Like, we stream a lot of games there. Every now and then we'll stream a product opening, whether it be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, or even Dragon Ball Super, which I'm not saying for sure is still going to continue, but it is within the realm of possibilities that the Dragon Ball Super card game product can and will be open on the channel every now and then. But, yes, it's been going well. It's surprisingly been growing. We've actually already hit affiliate status on the Twitch channel, so it's going pretty good. Been doing that for about 3 months now. Yeah. Getting close to 4, but I want to say it's been about 3 or 4 months. So, that's the main thing we've been up to lately. And like I said, it's been going pretty dang fun. And of course, I am still on the Evolutionaries Gaming channel. Every now and then, I'm not there as often now. Mainly because of the fact that since I do work retail and some people in that household are a little bit more higher risk to COVID. Like I said, I still go over there, but we have to take a bit more precautions whenever I go there, which totally understandable, just trying to protect the family members. So, and that's why I'm trying to slowly use my own equipment. That's another reason why I'm not over there filming the stuff there anymore. Because I'm trying to get stuff going here, and it's not the same quality as Evolutionaries Gaming yet. Oh, excuse me. But we're getting there. We are absolutely getting there. So, in a little bit, our quality will be even with Evolutionaries at the very least. Hopefully a little higher, but I'm pretty sure Kay is going to compete with me on that. So yeah, that's a couple things there. Another thing I've been up to is actually some amateur voice acting, believe it or not. There's actually one particular YouTube channel I've been doing some voice acting stuff, which I will leave the link down in the description down below, as well as the Twitch for both Evolutionaries and our Magician's Games, of course. So, with all that said, for those of you who are interested as to why I am leaving or have left the Dragon Ball Super card game, it's not one particular thing, it's just a buildup of a few things. One of the first things that kind of was starting to like turn me off from the card game was like the constant new mechanics and just it completely changing the game. Like the first year of it was a brand new game, it's trying to get itself out there, that's perfectly fine. But I want to say after set 7, it was starting to get a little ridiculous. And now we have like set 8, 9, 10. Almost all of, yeah, pretty much all of them have like all these brand new mechanics. It's like, slow down, Bandai. You don't need to do it every single set anymore. And like, it's not any one thing I have a particular problem with. Like, I have no particular problem with unisons. I have no particular problem with the rule change of up to 60 cards. I don't have even a particular problem, even though I do think it's a little bit weird. I don't have any particular problem with that new Overlord Servant thing that's coming out. Again, I just think it's a little weird, but no exact grudge with it or anything. The only one thing I will say is kind of stupid is that they made unique keyword skill. When we already had cards with permanent skill saying that you can only have one copy of that card out. Like, I thought that was perfectly fine. But I digress. Honestly, though, if it was just that alone, I'm not fully sure. At least, personally, I would have left the game. Like, honestly, filming for this channel has always been a challenge. But ever since the whole COVID thing started, it's been impossible to film for me, because around here, it's not exactly a booming area for DBS, the card game, as it is. And the one place that we were doing that, obviously because of COVID-19 protocol and stuff like that, we can't sit down there for tournaments anymore. So it's been really, really difficult. Not to mention, for those of you who know, product does not come out very often for this game. So it's not even like I could just dedicate myself to product openings for Dragon Ball Super, the card game. So there's that. And now we're going to get to what I think is a little bit bigger of a reason why I left, is like the constant like rule changes, erratas, stuff like that. Now, obviously, a ban list is absolutely necessary. Like, every card game needs at least a set rotation, a ban list, or both. So that's not an issue there. And before anyone says it, yes, I do know card games do erratas. Perfect examples are Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. They do erratas. Yes, it does happen. But for those card games, it happens maybe once in a blue moon. And when it does happen, we almost always pretty quickly get the new version of the card. Matter of fact, for Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of the times, an errata card will be a banned card, and it won't even be unbanned until after we already have the card in our hands. So that's a pretty good way of doing it. Dragon DBS, though, they're always, it feels like errata cards. Some of it for grammatical things, which I will say the first year was acceptable, but come on, we're getting on a few years now. This should not be happening as often. Like, the team designing these cards should be looking at them, checking them to make sure they are correct before even distributing them out. And then the second thing is just like errating effects and stuff on the cards. Which, again, I know it does happen sometimes, but not only does it seem like it happens very often, and here's the biggest issue I have with the erratas, is that, to my knowledge, we have never gotten a single copy of an errata card with the correct text. To me, that is the biggest mistake, because what about new people trying to get in? Like, new people who pick up these cards are like, oh wow, this is really, really cool. And they don't see it on a ban list, and it's like, oh, okay, I can play this card, because it says this text here. And just to find out they can't even play it that way, because of how they're reading the text, and it's just really, really messy. And some people I know are going to be saying, like, oh, they could just check the errata list, and they could just check the stuff on there. But it's like, there's so many cards that they have to check for. Like, it's honestly, like, for me personally, it's honestly not that fun to have to constantly check a card just because there's so many of them that are errated. And again, they don't even have the correct card to replace it with. Like, I would be able to slightly excuse it a bit more if they would give us the correct printing of the cards, but they don't, so I have a problem with that. And honestly, unless you are a pretty competitive person, you're not going to think to look at all that stuff. And honestly, when it does happen, this has been at least my personal experience. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but their Facebook page is the first one to put it up. And it doesn't always immediately go on a Dragon Ball Super card game official website. And to me, that's just like, wait, what? Shouldn't that be the opposite? Again, if it's not that way for everybody, it just might be something with whatever I look it up as. It could be something with the computers or my personal internet or whatever. But that's how it almost always seems to be with me. And it's like, unless you're constantly checking every single, like, platform out there, like every single source you can to look it up, you're not really going to know that stuff. And like, I feel like people are going to say something because it's the same way for Yu-Gi-Oh! Having to constantly check the ban list, or Pokemon, because Pokemon does actually have a little bit of a ban list now. But they make that stuff so much easier to, like, look up and to find out. So, that to me, that part's just kind of a big mess. And to me, it just got a little tiring for me personally. But I know there's plenty of people out there who think the game has never been better and that they love the game now more than ever, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying there's any issue with anyone liking this game. Like, even though I don't really miss the game, I do miss some of the good times I had with it, because I want to say all the way up until set 6, with all the subsets in between, I want to say, at least for me, that was the absolute highlight of the game. Because it was at a point where they were actually almost able to compete with the top 3 card games. That's like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. They were almost competing with them. Like, they even had pretty big name players from Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Come over and play Dragon Ball. Just because it was such a fun and creative and interesting game. And they were so close. Like, they had it right for a while. But I felt, like I said, I don't want to say for sure it was set 7 that it kind of started, but that's what I get the feeling of. Because, like, I remember thinking, like, okay, I remember thinking that some of these skills were getting a little ridiculous at set 7, but I also did really, really like set 7. Because it had so many of my fan favorite stuff on there. It had Universe 6 stuff, it had Goku Black Zamasu. It just had so many things going for me, so maybe I didn't really pay too much attention to it if it's set 7. I want to say maybe I paid a little more attention to it at set 8. But, oh yeah, that's just some of the reasons that I left. Another reason why I kind of got sick of the card game, and this isn't really an issue with the card game itself, it's kind of more of my own personal issue, is that so many staple cards of the game are just so expensive. And before anyone says it, yes, I understand that's a thing for any card game. But not only is it that they're expensive, but the sets that they're printed in are usually only either a one-time ever printing, or their next redistribution doesn't happen for a very long time. So not only is the card expensive to get, it's hard to find even the product that it could possibly come in. Not only because they're really expensive, because again, they're only usually like a one-time printing. Like draft boxes. Draft boxes are a perfect example. Some of those were only like a one-time printing. So it's not even like I could go to my local card shop, find a draft box, and hopefully I get lucky. I had to get lucky just to find a draft box alone, let alone to pull the card I want. And, yeah. So that's been another issue of mine. I want to say maybe they could up their product distribution a little bit more. But like I said, as far as cards being expensive itself, that's more of a me problem. That's not really the card game's fault or anything like that. So, and once again, yes, I get it. Cards are going to be expensive because they're really, really good. So, now, I guess that's just kind of me more complaining about it. But, yeah. And I don't want to say the game's complete garbage. Because one thing I will say about the Dragon Ball card game, and I will still defend them on it to this day, is that, I know this is a bit of a random point, but something I feel like I need to get across, they know how to promote a movie. I will always give them that. Because, to this day, when it comes to promoting movies, because I know Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Do it, they will sometimes try to promote their movies through card games. They need to look at Dragon Ball Super. Because how they promoted the Broly movie was absolutely amazing. To this day, I will always say, that right there, that is how you promote a movie set right there. Movie set. That is how you promote a movie through a card game. And honestly, there have been some decks that have almost tempted me. Almost tempted me to play, at least personally. Like the Zamasu deck from set 10. The Broly BR Red swap that we're getting, that almost tempting. Almost, but not quite. Not quite. Maybe if they're cheap enough, I might pick up Broly to play on my own with some of my friends once we're able to again, but I don't foresee that happening for a while. So, I think I've rambled on about long enough here. So with that, guys, thank you so much for sticking through with me to the very end. And to those of you out there who have been still watching the old videos during all this, you have no idea how much that's helped me. It's helped more than you could possibly ever imagine. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you also so much for those of you guys watching the old videos I've had and stuff like that. And all those videos I've done for Dragon Ball Super, whether they be the deck profiles, the vlogs, the how-to, which surprisingly is still getting views, despite the fact that the card game has changed so much since that video came out. And of course, openings, those are all still staying on the channel. Those are not going anywhere. So I do not plan to ever get rid of those Dragon Ball videos, because honestly, I'm still proud of the videos I did both on by myself and the videos I did with Kay. Still very proud of those videos. So with that, again, thank you all so much. And while I fully understand if you guys choose not to, I really hope you do stick with me and Beezus on this adventure, because like I said, we're having a lot of fun. And we've got a lot of cool things planned for the future, and I really hope that you guys are going to take this path down with us, because it's going to be going places. It already is, and I feel like we're going to keep going further and further. So with that, I'll stop talking now and let you guys get back on with your day. Thank you all so very much, and I hope to see you guys more in the future. And with that, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all next time.